Hi guys, it's SimLicy here, so welcome to another speed build. So today I am building another family home, and this time it's a cottage here in the countryside of Brindleton Bay, kind of in this more foresty, woodsy area. Sort of. It's not super woodsy, but it's a little bit. And I wanted to do something that was for a sim who loves to garden. And I imagine the Sims that lived here are a couple and their child. I was thinking that they're an older couple. That was my idea while building this, and they didn't think they could ever have kids, and so they ended up by surprise having a kid later in life. And I thought that was a really good story, and so yeah, that's kind of what I was envisioning while building this. I imagined one of the parents is really into carpentry and building, and they're like an excellent builder, and so maybe they even built this house themselves and they're just really into doing things on their own and that kind of stuff. And then the other parent in this house is just completely obsessed with gardening. And so I was thinking it would be pretty cute if like you know, the builder like built this house for them. It's like their spouse's dream house, so they can do all of the gardening they've ever wanted to do, and they built them this little shed. And yeah, they just bought this piece of property, and then surprise, they got pregnant and they are going to have a kid. And well, now the kid is a child sim and not like a baby or anything, but that was kind of like their backstory. So hopefully you guys like that. Something you guys might notice before I get too far into this video, I'm using a different reshade today. I recently reached out to Julia Films. She's one of my favorite builders here on YouTube. It's not an English speaking channel, in case you guys, you know, go to her channel and are surprised by that. I believe it's Russian. I'm not like 100% certain, but I believe it is. And I really love her builds, and her apartments are so cozy and homey, and everything just seems really realistic and like fully decorated. And I've been wanting to ask her what reshade she uses, and she told me it's by Kindle Spice on Tumblr, and I'll put the link to download it in the description, so definitely check out the description box if you guys are interested in it. And the preset is called Dove, and it's just really pretty. There's like a lot more extra shadow, and it makes it look like almost more three-dimensional and kind of Pixar-like in a way. I don't know if you guys will agree. I'm not sure if I'll use this all the time. I did this build, and then I did an apartment inspired by Julia Films. By the way, I will have her channel linked in the description, and I highly recommend that you guys go check it out. Even if yeah, you don't speak Russian, I don't speak Russian. I just really enjoy watching her builds anyways, and so I definitely recommend it. They're very cozy and homey, so I think if you like my builds, then I think you'll like hers too, especially if you like apartments, because she does a lot of apartments, and I really love watching apartment builds. They're one of my favorites, and she's really creative with them, with like her floor plans. She also uses a lot of CC, so keep that in mind as well. I believe she uploaded a video this morning, actually. I think I just watched it. It had no custom content, so every once in a while there's no CC, but majority of the time I think she does, which I don't mind. I really like seeing the CC that she uses, and other people too. Like, I'm not opposed to watching CC content. So yeah, I thought I would mention that all to you guys, and let me know what you guys think of this reshade. So like I was saying, I don't think I'll use it all the time, just because I'm not sure if everybody is going to like it as much as I do, but I really wanted to try it out, so I did a couple of builds. I'll probably do one more, because I think one more for sure I think will look really good with this. The apartment especially is probably my favorite apartment I have ever done. And I think it mostly has to do with this reshade. It just, I don't know, it gives it like an extra depth or something. I don't know, it just kind of re-inspired me lately. I've been feeling a bit uninspired to build. And I don't know if that's just because I just need new stuff in the game or what, but like having the different reshade, just like, oh, I feel like I'm playing a new game, and it was like inspiring and so much fun. So let me know your guys' thoughts. If you love it, I honestly wouldn't be opposed to using it all the time, but I feel like some of you guys are going to think it's a bit too dramatic, because the shadows they're pretty intense at some points. I mean, it kind of depends on the object and stuff, but I actually really like the extra shadows. And yeah, I just think it looks really cool. But definitely don't be shy. Let me know what you guys think about it, and please be honest, and let me know if I should use it more often, or just like every once in a while, or never again. I don't know if I'll really like that answer, but yes, please leave that if that's your answer. But here you can see I'm adding some trees. I wanted there to be like a small little orchard area. I kind of struggled finding a tree that would place as the fully grown tree. So the one in the middle is not, the two on the ends are. But before I take the screenshots, I do have that tree be fully developed, because I was like, I don't want just little mounds of dirt on the ground. I want there to be actual trees that you guys can see. And then I love the little garden shed that I make. I used these stand-up planters that came with the Eco Lifestyle Pack, and I thought they fit perfectly in here. And I finally got like the perfect place to put that potting bench with the really adorable decorations, like the spilled pot of dirt and just the extra gardening supplies, like the string of lights. This is like the most cute, like the cutest, most adorable thing that we have in game. It's not functional. I do put this functional table in here though that we got with Seasons, where you can do the flower arranging. I love it. I want a shed like this in real life. It's so dreamy. But I've been talking about, ever since the Eco Lifestyle Pack came out, I haven't got a great opportunity to use that potting bench because I haven't really built anything, I don't know, I guess that fit it. But finally I got to use it. And so that was kind of like the main point of this build, was like to use that object. And so I was really happy about that. And then also here in the yard area, you'll notice that there's that little bug house, the bee box, and then a swing set. And then I put a picnic table over here so the Sims can sit out in the garden and eat their food. And then on the side porch over here, I put a woodworking table because, like I mentioned, I did think that one of the Sims living in this house is a really good woodworker, and they like to build everything themselves. And so that's why I tried to use a lot of wood on the exterior. I wanted it to feel very natural, like maybe they even logged the surrounding trees to build the shed and their house. I think that would be really cute too. But yeah, this is basically it for the exterior. I'm just adding a few lights around and some terrain paint. I don't add as much terrain paint because there's so much shadow underneath like the plants and stuff. But before I upload this to the gallery, I did go through and add some extra terrain paint just in case you guys don't use this Reshade, then there'll actually be like some sort of a shadow underneath the plants. And I think that adds a lot to landscaping. I don't know if you guys will agree, but I think it makes a big difference. Like it looks almost like fake in a way if there's no shadow, if there's no terrain paint anyways. Not that it looks that realistic because The Sims 4 is very cartoony, which I really appreciate. I don't want it to be hyper realistic, but I feel like just adding that little bit of depth just kind of makes it feel just a tad bit realistic. But here you can see I'm moving on to the interior. I started off by decorating the kitchen, and I absolutely love the way the kitchen came together. I definitely wanted the interior to feel rustic and cozy and lived in and cluttered and all those types of things. And I thought these Parenthood cabinets actually looked kind of nice with these more industrial base game counters. I'm not sure if you guys will agree because really the colors don't match exactly, but I thought it was kind of nice just to mix it up a little bit. I really don't like the overhead cabinets that match those counters. I feel like they don't really match that well. So it feels weird even saying that they do match, because I don't know, the coloring to me is a bit weird. Even without a reshade, I feel like they just look a bit strange. And something I want to mention about this reshade also is it doesn't change the color of items too much, which I really appreciate, because some reshades you download, they're oversaturated and sometimes it like exaggerates the colors. This one actually tones down the colors a little bit and makes them a bit softer, which I really, really like. I think the reshade actually looks a tiny bit better on the interior. One thing I did notice though that I didn't like, and that's the only reason I'm really kind of hesitant to not use it, is there's some transparency issues. So you might notice that here and there. It's not too bad. With the UI, there's some transparency problems, but that doesn't bother me too much. Some of the items though that we have in game, like some of the plants that came with the Eco Lifestyle Pack and then some that came before, have like this transparent mesh around the mesh that you see, and you can see it like a lot. Without a reshade, you don't know it's there. And the reshade that I was using before, the Light Brigade by Hey Harry, you couldn't see it then either because there's not this extra shadow effect. So seeing it is kind of frustrating because it makes you not really want to use those objects as much. So there's a few things that I think I use in here that have that kind of transparent thing around the mesh. It's like an extra mesh. I'm not sure if you guys will see it because I kind of avoided objects that were that had that problem or had that extra part of the mesh. So I'm not really sure if that's intentional or if it's like left behind when they're creating the objects. So I was kind of curious about that. But mostly the transparency thing is the only thing that was really bothering me about this. And also there's a blur effect when you download this Reshade that comes automatically. I did turn that off, and that was just basically because I didn't want any blurring. It's really pretty though if you're going to take like screenshots, especially ones that you can see like the background. You can blur the background and get like your subject more focused. I think that is like really pretty. So I think that's a really nice effect, but not really practical, I think, for building. So turn that off. But other than that, I think it's like the most perfect thing like ever, at least anyways, right now. But there I just quickly decorated the laundry room, the entryway, the hallway leading into the house. There's no staircase, as you probably noticed. I used a ladder leading up to the second floor, which is not practical in any real house probably, because that would get very annoying, especially when you're tired and want to go to bed and you have to climb up a ladder instead of stairs to go up to your room. But you know, it didn't take up that much space, and I felt like if I was to use a staircase, it would take up way too much space. So that was my reasoning behind that. And then over here, you can see there is the living room area. I really love the way the living room turned out. It's very cozy, and yeah, I don't know, I like the way it turned out. I tried to use just different decorations that I thought looked nice together. I don't know why I'm saying that because I always try to do that. But I also used some stuff from Nifty Knitting because I was thinking, since this family, you know, is into gardening and one of them is more of a crafter, they're very into doing like things themselves. So I imagine they knit a lot of things, make their child's toys, maybe make their own clothes. So I thought that was a pretty cool idea too. But here I'm just cluttering up the top of the fireplace with some books and other decorations. I forgot that I placed those other books on the very top of the fireplace, and then when I go decorate the upstairs, they're actually poking through the floor. So don't worry, I do see them and get rid of them. I was just placing them there so other things wouldn't snap to them. But over here on this side of the living room, I place this keyboard, which is an electric keyboard, and I use these side tables that came from Cats and Dogs, and I merged them together to create sort of a stand-up piano, whatever you call those. I forget. You guys left me like all of the proper terms to call this, and I have completely forgot them, so forgive me. But yeah, I really like doing this. It doesn't look perfect because obviously you see the legs poke out of the electric piano, so it doesn't look perfect, but it's totally functional, and I think it's like a good, I don't know, compromise since we don't have one of those at this point. We only have grand pianos, which I think is really unfortunate because grand pianos are not that common, especially in like everyday homes. It's kind of frustrating to me. So hopefully we will get those eventually, but for now, thankfully, I can sort of make them on my own using those objects. But here you can see I'm decorating the bathroom. This is the only bathroom in the build. I really didn't have a great place to put another bathroom upstairs. I probably could have squeezed one in the parents' bedroom. I tried to, if you guys were paying attention to when I was making the floor plan, but I felt like it was just gonna make the room, well, way too small, and also more of like an awkward shape, like way more awkward than it needed to be. So yeah, I just decided not to do that. And since the downstairs bathroom was so big and there's really only 3 Sims living here, I didn't think it was that big of a deal. But there I did decorate the back porch. I put a game table back there and just a potted plant. And then this is the landing where I just wanted there to be like, you know, extra storage and clutter. So I used this shelf that came from Eco Lifestyle because it has the extra towels and pillows and blankets, and I thought that was pretty appropriate to have next to the bedrooms. And then here I'm just picking out the wallpaper. I didn't want it to have the same wallpaper as the rest of the build, but I ended up going with that. I just couldn't really find anything that I thought suited the rest of the build, like would match it as well as just the wallpaper I was using throughout the rest of the house. So maybe it's not that big of a deal because since it is handmade, maybe it would be easier for the parent just to continue with the same materials. I don't know if that makes sense or it's just me using it like as an excuse for why I did this. But anyways, I did add some artwork to the landing area, and then here I'm decorating the parents' room. I went with this bed that came with cats and dogs and the matching side tables. I really like that soft wood tone, especially using this Reshade. I think it looks really pretty. And then over here on their dresser, I do clutter it up with a few decorations, some books, and a few other things. I think this family really likes to read because I use books as clutter objects basically throughout this entire house, and I have several bookcases. So yeah, I definitely imagine that they read a lot, and I think that's pretty nice. But yeah, here I'm just adding some artwork and then a mirror, and then also that really nice plant wall hanging that came with, I think, Realm of Magic. It's so pretty. But over here is going to be the kids' room. So for the kids' personality, up until this point, I hadn't really thought about the kids' personality at all. I was trying to figure it out as I built, and I really wanted them to be a lover of animals. And then as I started decorating this room, I kept with that idea, but I also incorporated that they really like to play soccer. And so I put a soccer poster around on one of these walls, I forget where, and then also a soccer ball. And then I think that's it for like sports clutter. That's like their main sport that they're into. So I didn't want to like add a ton of other things. But other than that, they really love animals. So I imagine that they want to be a vet when they get older, which I thought was pretty appropriate since I'm building here in Brindleton Bay. And of course, that's the career that came with that expansion pack, Cats and Dogs, where we got this world. So I thought that kind of made sense. But yeah, anyways, here I'm just adding decorations. And of course, they have trophies because they're very good at soccer. They are on a team at school or maybe in a club outside of school. I'm not exactly sure. Whatever you guys want to pretend, I think will make sense. And so they're really good at it. They have trophies, and yeah, that's basically it for their room and this build. I'm just adding the final few clutter items. I like clutter up the shelf a little bit, and then we'll be going on to the screenshot. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this one. And like I said, please let me know what you guys think about this Reshade. If you love it, please let me know. If you hate it, don't hesitate to tell me. And yeah, other than that, I'm just adding the final few decorations here in the bedroom. I add some chimneys to the exterior, and then we're on to the screenshot. So thank you so much for watching, and please leave any comments or suggestions that you have, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye!
Through the wind, I give in. I'm storming, breaking like the tide.